episode 5 on the 10-day, 10-episode recap of Ozark season 3. They just released Marty from Mexico. Navarro has let him go. He's unfroze the account. He's about to launder money like he ain't never done before. I'm talking about washing that money clean. Now, I don't know if he's going to be able to do that along with flipping the FBI agent, but hey, Marty's the man to do it. But like I say, I'm not going to hold y'all up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Turn your notification bell on so you can get something every time I drop. And if you're a returning watcher, hey, thanks for the love. Like it. Hey, let's jump right into it, though. Let's go. So as we know, as soon as the episode starts, Marty is released from Mexico. He's been tortured. There's no saying how long he was. Maybe a day, maybe 2 days. I'm saying maybe it had to be about a span of a couple of days at least. But he's released. He's back home. So they show a scene where FBI agent Maya, she's talking to her superior like, Marty was kidnapped. He was returned to his house last night. Before he was kidnapped, he told me that he was willing to cooperate and work with the FBI. Take 18 months. They were going to give Marty 18 months in jail. He would become a convicted felon. And he wouldn't be able to own the casino anymore. He won't be able to hold a license in the state of Missouri. But he'll work with the FBI. So his job would be finding criminals that do what he do. But lesser, because no one's as good as Marty. But as he's at the house, all the kids are wondering what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Is everything all right? He cooked, he cleaned, he made breakfast for everybody. And Wendy was like, is everything good? He's like, yeah. So Marty leaves. Like, his brain is rolling now. Like, he knows what he just experienced, and he has to make sure his family is safe. Everything is in order for him to make sure that Navarro and the cartel isn't coming back for him. So with all this, Wendy, she tells Charlotte, like, you know what? Go ahead, take a week off from work. Don't come into the office. We know all this stuff is tough on you kids. But hey, Marty's getting the ball rolling early this episode. So now we know that they can't launder money in the casino like they want to. So Wendy comes up with another idea. So she goes to the only person she knows that still has money in the town. Good old Sam. Y'all remember Sam? The one that was doing real estate, used to live with his mom, and she didn't want him to do anything. Mom got hit by a bus. In the mom. But anyway, she goes over to Sam. She's like, hey, all that money you have, now they didn't already screw Sam over several times. All that money you have in your trust fund, look, we need you to come and blow at least $100,000 to $200,000 in the casino, and we'll give you back that $200,000 with 8% on top of it. So pretty much what they want him to do is the same thing they were doing with all the people in the trailer park where Ruth lived. But instead of doing 9,000 increments, he goes in and he just gambles all his money. Boom, 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 lose it. Keep track of how much you lose, and when you get done losing that, come to us and we're going to pay you back with interest on top of it. Sam was like, I don't know about this. And, you know, he kind of had a thing for Wendy, but Wendy was like, you're a weirdo. So he pretty much is still going to do everything that he can for Wendy. And she throws it in his face like, hey, if it wasn't for us putting you at the strip club as the manager of the strip club, you would have never found your girlfriend. And he's like, well, yeah, you're right. So they got Sam. They got an investor now that's going to throw money into the casino and lose so they can launder money. Sam's the fool to fall for. Like I said, the mind of Marty never stops. It stays rolling. So he went back to the therapist and he's pretty much telling her like, hey, listen, we have two things going on now. He still can't get into details of what they got going on. But I need you to get Wendy to lean towards my side. So I'm going to give you $300 if she's leaning towards my side before we leave. But now if I can get you to get her to commit that my ideal is right and she needs to leave hers, then I'm going to give you $800. But she has to commit before I leave to give you $800. The therapist says, I don't know if really taking money from you is a good thing. He's like, well, why do you take it? And she says she wants to see what the end is going to be like between the two. And Marty's like, I don't care about what the end is going to be. I'm worried about right now and surviving. So I'm going to give you this money, but you got to make sure that Wendy commits on my idea and stopping this other casino. So after the meeting with Sam, Wendy gets a call from Navarro. Hello? Oh yeah, Wendy, about something. I've always had a passion for horses. My dad used to be a Mexican cowboy, and he would be so delighted if he was to find out that I own a horse ranch. There's one in particular that I want up in Kentucky. So once Wendy tells Marty this, it's pretty much at this point, I know what Navarro can do to me, so I got to do whatever he wants. If he wants a horse ranch in Kentucky, all right, we're going to go get a horse ranch in Kentucky. If he wants me to go to Japan and buy a Sony PlayStation, all right, in the Japan Sony PlayStation, here we come. But they drive up to Kentucky. They meet with the owner of it, and they're like, oh, this is a nice place. So the owner, she really doesn't want to sell unless she can have her own way with it. So it's like if you buy something, like if you buy it from me, you become the owner. You're the owner, but I want to run things how I want. Okay, I want this horse here, I want this horse here. You don't interfere with that, you just collect the money. So they end up talking to her, and she's like, yeah, I like that. I'll do that, you know? So after she agrees on, hey, you guys are the people that I want to buy the horse stable, she says, hey, well, look, since you guys are the owner, you can stay the night here and just drive back tomorrow. We have a nice little cottage set up for you. Wendy, she tells Marty, no, we can't stay because, you know, I have a hearing tomorrow to try to get baby Zeke. And Marty's like, hey, we own the place. We're going to stay here tonight. We'll just get up early in the morning and I'm going to go to the trial with you. She's like, really? Marty's like, yeah, I'm going to go with you. She's like, oh, Marty, you've changed. But Marty's head been messed with, so he's just trying to do everything he can to make stuff happen, man. That's what it's all about right now. It's just survival. While Marty and Wendy are up in Kentucky trying to get this horse ranch, Charlotte, Jonah, and Aaron are just out on the dock hanging out, and Frank Jr.'s henchman comes up. I'm not too sure what Frank Jr.'s friend's name is, but he's the one that went with him to go blow up the boat. I forgot his name. I've heard it, but I just call him the henchman because he's just an addition. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's a main character or anything yet, but they're just hanging out, chilling. And he starts asking Charlotte, he was like, hey, do you know Ruth? Because I work with her time to time at the casino. She's like, yeah, I know Ruth, but you know what I'm saying? We don't really talk too much or see each other because I'm in the office. She's at the casino. So then he asks Aaron, this is Helen's daughter, how do you know them? Oh, my mom's their lawyer. And then she just starts rumbling, just going on and on about stuff she shouldn't be talking about. Oh, my mom's a lawyer. I'm from Chicago, but she drugged me down here. I don't really want to be here. We're not that close and stuff. And Charlotte looks at Jonah and they're like, oh man, she might start spilling stuff. She doesn't know nothing about the cartel or what her mom does, but she doesn't want this guy, since he works at the casino, they know he knows a little bit of crooked stuff, and they don't want him to start telling her stuff because they're supposed to be protecting her away from all of this, shielding her from the organization. But Aaron just running her mouth. She's young, so she's younger than Charlotte, but she's about maybe a year older than Jonah. So she's probably about 15, 16 maybe. It didn't even take long. So the henchmen, you know, they've been doing the drops with Ruth, dropping off money from the Kansas City mob to launder, and they set Ruth up. Normally they just throw the money on the floor and then Ruth has to drag it over to the truck and put it in, but this time they were like, yeah, we're not doing that no more. Get in the truck and get it yourself. So as soon as she hops in, they close the door on it and they drive off. Now she's already been telling them, hey, we got to stop meeting up in the same spot. Every single drop, it looks suspicious. And y'all were late this time, so y'all had me waiting out here. If anybody would have seen me, they would have been like, what is Ruth doing out here? So I know that this right here is going to play a part, especially if this gets back to Marty, that they're doing this, that they kidnapped her. It's going to be bad. I tell you, bad. The court hearing goes on for baby Z between Darlene, the Wicked Witch of the West, and Wendy, the I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying to run an organization by myself. They're basically going back and forth, bickering. The judge asked, so did you really hit her? And Darlene was like, yeah, I did, but you know, she provoked me to do it. And Wendy's like, oh no, she doesn't need to have a kid because she punched me. So Darlene is like, well, you know what? I do have a witness. Let's bring a witness in. Who is the witness? Wyatt. Now, if y'all remember, I told y'all, like, man, Wyatt was there and he's seen it. And what did he do? He took the stand. Now, I don't know how their relationship is with Darlene. I know she's giving him a place to stay, so his loyalty is for her. And like I said earlier, he didn't really like Wendy, especially after she told him that he couldn't be seeing Charlotte anymore. So he goes into a spiel and he takes it back to the first season. Remember, she threw that dead possum? She came up there because she thought it was them putting it on their line. But she took the possum and threw it on theirs. So the judge says, Wendy, is this true? She's like, yeah, but that was different circumstances at the time. So she's like, the judge hears all of it, and Marty's just sitting there. Marty really doesn't care because his head's in different places. But the judge is like, well, after hearing all this stuff, and she did defend herself, the witness said that she defended herself, and Wyatt lied and said that that Wendy threw the first punch. So once the judge heard that, hey, it's over. Darlene, you get to keep baby Z. And Wendy was just looking, and Marty's like, oh well, we lost. Like, we got to keep it moving now. Hey, and I told y'all, when you're getting tortured or you're going through anxiety and stuff, you got to think of something that makes you happy. For Marty, it was this game, Beast Slayer, that he used to play when he was younger. So the first thing he did when he got back is he ordered the arcade game. Now, I always wanted the arcade game. I don't have a garage to put it in my current living situation, but hey, that would be tight to have some games from when we were younger, like Contra or something. But Marty, he plays the game. He plugs it up, and she's like, what is this? And he was like, oh, I bought it last night and had him overnighted. I'm glad it came in. I used to play it when I was a kid. And she's like, really? You just gonna play a video game? Well, for Marty, that's cleared up his mind. You don't want to think about what you were going through. You want to just think about the happy things and moving forward. So this is going to be a good thing for Marty. I can see it playing a big role in like him every morning probably get up, play a little bit, just to get focused to go handle all the business he got to do. The unthinkable happens. I told you I had a funny feeling about their relationship. I thought it was just, Wyatt living with Darlene, just, saying to make sure that he has a good place. So he's like, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to do everything I need to do. But these fools end up kissing each other. I'm like, oh no. Like, what? Darlene is old. Like, man, forget that. Even as an actor, I'd be like, man, all right, yeah. I mean, Ozarks is a cool show. I love I love the season. I love what we got going on here. But do we got a kiss? And then he had her on top where they were like making love. I'm like, oh, bruh. But hey, Darlene did tell him this. For all my younger gentlemen, I'm not saying go this old up here, maybe down here like 40s, maybe early 50s, but she was like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I've been around for a while. She put it on Wyatt. Young Wyatt couldn't handle it. And y'all know Wyatt's probably like 145 pounds, if that. She put it on Wyatt. Don't go this old, guys. If you're going to get you a cougar, go like maybe 40s, 50s. Don't go to the 70s, y'all. That's just a disclaimer for y'all, man. But if you like the older ones, hey, do your thing. Wyatt does too. And right now, hey, he got him a family. He got Darlene and baby Z. So I guess he winning. All right, it just came back when this scene hit. Tony is his name. Frank Jr.'s henchman is Tony. So when y'all go back, rewatch all of them, it's Tony. Not the henchman, Tony. But we're going to still call him the henchman because it's easy. But anyway, Charlotte comes up to him at the dock. And she pretty much tells him, hey, listen up, Tony. And he tries to get on the boat because, Tony's a damn creep. So he's like, hey, ooh, you look good in them shorts. Like, man, this chick is 15, 16. Like, hey, bro, you're a little old for that. But that's how they do in Ozarks, I guess. But he's like, yeah, you look good in those shorts. And she's like, listen to me carefully. Do not come around Erin ever again. She don't need to be around you. She's too young. Leave her alone. And then he says, do you know who I work for? You know what I'm saying? I work for Frank, the Kansas City mob. And she says, I know who you work for. Do you know who my dad is and who he works for? So right now you got Frank Sr. in the cartel. You got Frank Sr. with the Kansas City mob. And you got Marty with the cartel. The cartel is actually way bigger than the mob is. So he said, do you know who I work for? She's like, yeah, you work for the mob. Do you know who my father works for? And he's like, yeah. So if you go by Erin, this is coming from Marty. If you go to Erin, I'm going to tell my dad that you crossed him. And if you crossed him, that's pretty much crossing the cartel. when the cartel is bigger than the mob. So he's like, oh, you right, man. Like, he doesn't say it, but he knows that the cartel is bigger than the mob. So I don't think he's gonna be seeing Aaron anytime soon. Like, hitting her up, like, hey, what you been on? Like, nah. Darlene's dream is coming back. So she just hired a whole slew of people to come out there and redo the poppy fields for her. So she takes Wyatt down there and shows him, like, hey, pretty much, hey, this is what we got, baby. This is what we got. This is going to be your future. You know what I'm saying? You come in, I'm going to show you how to do everything. You're going to bring up baby Zeke. Hey, and our family name is back in order. We're going to still be out here doing our thing. Wyatt says, man, he thought about trying heroin. He'd never tried it before, especially when his dad died. He was going through some stuff, so that really was weighing in on his head. But Darlene, it was disgusting how she said it, but she said, Wyatt, I won't have no junkie in my bed. And Wyatt was like, oh, okay. So she was pretty much saying, like, I know you got pain. And this is what she said. I liked it. There's pain that uses you, and then there's pain that you use. I can see it in you, Wyatt. So she pretty much gave him a motivational speech like, hey, bro, get right, and we're going to have all this together for you. Your life's going to be back rolling. Me and you, we're going to be headed to the top. Me and you, Wyatt, you're going to take over for me. It's disgusting. So Agent Maya, she's still on it, you know what I'm saying? She's still going at Marty. Like, hey, Marty, go ahead and accept this deal for 18 months and come work for us. You'll be getting away with anybody that's doing tax fraud, laundering money, all kinds of stuff. So Marty's pretty much like, is this the kind of work you would be doing if you had your choice? She was like, yeah. So Marty's like, well, won't you do it then? Like, you go back and just leave this case alone. You know what I'm saying? Get off it. Let someone else do it so he can try to, in between time where they switching, trying to launder some money. But pretty much he's trying to flip her, and he's picking her mind like, okay, so if I can get some information on somebody and slide it to you, would you do it? Like, that's the kind of work you want to do. So he's like, all right, I'm going to find other people. It's kind of snitching, but, you know what I'm saying? Hey, when you're trying to get yourself out of here, I don't condone snitching, but in the world that he's in, it's a whole different ball game. Like the cartels, if you snitching on somebody else, then it is all right as long as you're not, you know what I'm saying, snitching on someone in your organization. So they got a different term of it, but Marty's pretty much like, nah, I'm good. I'm not going to take that deal. But if I do take the deal, it's going to have to be on his terms. You know, Marty likes doing everything his. Now, I know Frank Jr. ain't going to like this. Ben put 50 pounds of birdseed on top of his car. They about to peck this paint all up. They about to boo-boo all over this thing. And he goes and gets Ruth, and they go out there and watch it because everything going back and forth. They kidnap Ruth. So he's like, man, I'm going to get even with him. I can't drive up there right now, so I'm going to get even with him. And the only thing I know that he likes right now is his car. So he messes it up. I know Frank Jr. ain't going to like this at all, man, because I know I will be pissed. I already don't like, and I'm sure y'all feel the same way, when you just parking outside and one bird boo-boos on your car, especially like after you get a car wash. But if you got a vintage car and all these birds is on it, like, hey, man, yeah, this is gonna be all bad for whoever it is. Like I said, Marty got a plan. So what does he do when he comes in office? Roger Blankcorn, blank checks. You heard about him? She like, yeah, I heard about him. He runs outside of St. Louis. So Marty pretty much has information on him, talking about, hey, he's been, you know, doing check frauds and bringing in all kinds of illegal money. So she's like, okay, what are you doing with this information? He was like, oh, you know, I just did a little research when I was coming back checking some accounts, and I seen this, so I wanted to give it to you. You're an FBI agent. You have to take, like, this is a case. If you bust this case, like, if you complete this case, then, hey, promotion, you out of there, baby. So she pretty much gets mad, like, no, I'm not taking this. You don't get to work and still launder money for the cartel. No. If you're going to work for us, you're going to work for us. You're not going to work for the cartel anymore. So she pretty much throws the paper back at Marty and said, I'm not taking this information. I'll overlook it. Forget that. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to do this work, then you need to go do your jail time, come out and work for us. But Marty's too smart for that. Marty's not doing no jail time. I'm not doing no jail time. Marty ain't doing no jail time. We ain't doing no jail time. I'll tell you that. Wendy can go do some jail time, but we ain't doing no jail time. Now, this is an unfortunate situation here, but Helen and Wendy, they drive up to the stable. Turns out the stable, they have the horse, the prize horse, is sedated. And what they're doing is removing his testicles. So it turns out that they say that this horse is very very sick, so it has to have its testicles removed. The lady is upset because this is their money maker. This is how they make money. This horse, if you breed it with a horse that can come in second or third in a race, then that means its offspring is probably going to win, because this horse is a thoroughbred. It's the best horse that you can have. So with it not being able to, without it being able to breed, without it being able to breed, they're losing millions of dollars, because you could breed this horse with 100 horses and just produce offspring that are going to win. So she's like, man, what are y'all doing? And she's mad at Wendy, and Wendy's like, I don't know what's going on here. She said, what am I going to tell the owners? And Helen, she said, we'll deal with that. So I'm thinking, what's going on here? Like, do they know the owner or something? So Wendy ends up calling Navarro, and she's like, hey man, what's wrong? Like, there's a horse up here that's sick. And Navarro says, oh yeah, that horse there, that's the people we in war with, the other cartel, that's their prize horse. So I'm going to take his testicles and I'm going to send it to the other cartel's boss. This is how I get even with him. This dude Navarro is not playing around. So he didn't want the stable for his own horses. He bought the stable so he could damage the money that they're making, the other cartels making off of this prize horse, and they can't breed it. Navarro is ruthless, bruh. Wendy's like, why didn't you tell me? Why would you do this? You don't tell me how to run my cartel. You just do what I say. And that's it. He hung up like, you do what I say and that's it, man. Navarro ain't playing around with nobody, man, for real. Hey, so that's episode 5 of the 10-day, 10-episode recap of Ozark. I hope you guys are liking what I'm putting out. But hey, comment below what you think this is going to do. Is this going to spark even bigger turf war between the two cartels? I'm thinking it is. And do you think Marty is going to actually work, like push Agent Maya any more on that case that he brought to her to get him off of his case? I don't know, man. Marty's, like I say, Marty's one of the smartest persons that I know that I've seen on a TV show. So it ain't no telling what Marty really got planned. But hey, thank you for watching. Like I say, every day we're going to be dropping a new episode at 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time. That's 9 o'clock Pacific my time. So every day we're going to be uploading. Hey, tune in tomorrow morning for episode 6 of the 10-day episode recap. And if you like my content, please subscribe to the channel. Like I say, thank you for watching. Turn on your notification bell so you can get something every time I drop. If you like, follow me on all my social media, Mo.J. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.